What is up, my pizzas? Cory Vincent here, and this is a new episode of the video game Bang, brought to you by Oblivion Comics and Coffee. You should really check them out on Instagram. They have really stepped up their Instagram game. They do their own podcast thing over there. It's been a lot of fun. What else do? They do like all sorts of stuff, like pictures of the drinks and pictures of this guy, David Webb. Welcome back, man.
What's up, everybody? It's good to be back.
Is it?
It is.
Really? Did you miss it?
Yeah, I did. I would say I didn't know what to do on Wednesday, but I did because I was at Disneyland. So, yeah. But other than that, I wouldn't have known what to do.
Well, we couldn't have an absence of David on the show, so we did have another David fill your slot. We had the real David Ing.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
He's a good substitute.
He did all right. Chat was a little impressed or perturbed, or I don't know. It was his man bun. He did have a man bun. So.
Whoa! He has the man bun now?
No. It was not a man bun. He admitted that it was a man pony.
A man pony.
Remember, he said he has to grow it and flick it, and then it's a man.
I don't know where the line between man bun and man ponytail begins and ends.
That's a good.
I feel like it hasn't been that long since I've seen David, so I don't remember him having long hair before.
His hair grows freakishly fast. It's pretty ridiculous.
Damn. Okay.
Speaking of freakishly fast, what's going on, Curtis?
No Minuteman here.
I mean, people could take it for whatever they wanted.
I mean,
maybe you just run quickly.
I thought you just ran quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
I will until I broke my leg,
Oh.
and now I run with briskly.
Okay.
Very briskly.
Run briskly.
That I do, but
I'm the briskest runner alive. My name is
Curtis Fisher, and I am.
It's like a blue flash.
I know. Actually, I like the blue flash.
Yeah.
I got the blue ring. David Webb, I like the way you think.
He's a thinker. And so you mentioned you were gone.
I was gone.
So you were at Disney for one day, but then you were all up and down the countryside. What were you doing?
So started out, we went to Malibu. There's a cave that I've been seeing a lot online. It's been the cover on. It sounds weird. Just roll with me.
Okay. Is this going into a bit, or you really saw a cave?
No, I really saw a cave.
And you wanted to go see
I really wanted to go see this cave.
In Malibu?
In Malibu.
Okay.
It's like an ocean, like, you can only go during certain times because if the tide is too far in, then the cave's flooded. You can't get into it.
Oh, so is it the element of danger?
There's an element of danger.
Okay.
You gotta time it right. Like, if you're in there for too long, then you might die. Like, yeah.
Ooh.
So I wanted to go see it and go into it, take pictures and stuff. And we get there, and it was not only was it high tide, but the waves were crazy big. Because I thought, okay, well, if it's flooded, then I'll just fly my drone down into it and take pictures that way.
Okay, hold on. Before you go any further, preface by saying his first drone lasted literally 30 seconds.
Oh,
he
David
got
Webb.
it. He pushed a button. It flew up into the sky, and he never saw it again. So when he says, "I'm gonna have to fly my drone down into this cave with raging water," my immediate thought is, "God, please, that's not where the story's going."
Okay,
it's with the angels now.
To be fair, the first drone was like lighter than an empty GamerSupps cup. Like, It was like basically it went too high, and then the wind was like, "This is mine now." This one's a little bit more sturdy.
Okay.
But it's funny that you bring that up, because later on in the trip, I'm flying the drone I'm at the beach, and I'm flying it out over the ocean to get a shot of like me and my wife on the beach, and then kind of just get some cool beach shots and stuff.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times it said, "Connection lost." I was like, fuck. And I didn't say anything because I've already lost one drone. I don't think my wife is going to let me get another one.
Nope.
So I kept it very cool and just calmly panicked and just made very, very slight movements with my thumb to get
very convincing movements
to bring it back.
Okay.
Anyway, so not only was the water too high, the waves are too high. So if I tried to fly my drone into that cave, I would have lost it for sure.
David Webb, I just have one thing to say, my good friend. And I call you a good friend before I say this. You don't have permission to die, sir, on vacation. You do not. I don't know how to do all of these things that you do for the show, so you can't put that kind of stress on me.
Yeah.
Okay, please. Stay alive.
Every time I'm like not on the show, Curtis is like, "Oh shit, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened?"
I'm like, I really hope Cory doesn't ask me to do anything, but if he does, I'll say yes.
Oh man, yeah. So we went to we ended up going to Disneyland. We went there one day, and the one day that we went happened to be the day that they do their big, or one of the days they do their big Halloween party, which is like it's an extra ticket, and it's not cheap extra. Like it's another park ticket. It's $150 to do this Mickey's Halloween party.
Okay.
So like for like the first time since I've ever been to Disneyland, we left at like 6 o'clock. Okay. Because that's the park closed.
Oh crap.
We went to Joshua Tree one day. Hey. So went to the desert.
You played some U2 when you were there, right?
Oh, you have to.
Oh yeah, all the way. That's the only thing we played. When
he
we were
has
there.
no idea the reference.
Nope, no idea.
We'll talk about it on the after show.
Now we know what we're going to spend 3 hours talking about. If you guys are listening to the show and you've been enjoying it, there's like a thing that's called the after show that we do on twitch.tv/videogame_bang. So if you enjoy this hour, some of the stuff that happens in the after show is it's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
But speaking of me dying, I did, like spoiler moment, the rock climbing adventure when it was in Joshua Tree.
Why does your vacation just keep getting more and more dangerous after I asked you not to die?
So there's so you could Google it. It's kind of cool. So in Joshua Tree, there's a natural rock formation that's an arch.
Okay.
And it's really popular. Photographers go there, take pictures and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I went there, I got my picture, and I go, you know what? This would be really cool if I stood on top of the arch. I wonder why I could see if I did that. So with my wife around the corner, not able to see me because she didn't go as far as I did, I just started scaling the side of the arch. And she's like, where are you? I was like, I'm up here. And I popped my head up.
Do you remember when we were in high school trying to impress a girl with any feat of athleticism? How difficult it was?
Yeah.
I remember.
To get a girl interested, you had to be captain of some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to be fucking a beast. In our age, with our wives, it's very easy to impress them.
It really is.
We'll go like to a river, and it's like a little tiny little ditch to get to the water. Yeah. And I'll do it, without holding on to something. And she's like, my man.
Hey, honey, look how far I can throw this rock.
Yeah. Ooh.
Into the water.
Oh, baby. That's like now. So scaling like a rock or anything, like that's how we get our girls these days. It's these small little things. So David's looking like a fucking hunk,
basically,
out there when he starts to attempt to climb the fucking Joshua Tree.
Dude, he's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. To his wife right
with like a bag on right now. I'm trying, like climbing up it. It's pop up. It's up. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Joshua Tree, you could definitely get lost there. It's huge.
Oh damn, okay.
It's definitely huge, and there's no cell service. So like you run out of gas, you're full on stuck in the desert. Like, I mean, there's caves and stuff, but there's also coyotes and shit. Because we went back later to go get some like star shots at night.
Yeah.
And I'm like Googling it. I'm like looking online. I'm like, oh, best places to get star pictures. Okay. And I don't know why I did this to myself. I shouldn't have. I should have just been blissfully unaware. But I was like, night animals in Joshua Tree. And it was like the two things that stuck out to me were like snakes and coyotes. I was like, oh shit. So
two things that can kill you.
We pull up and my wife's like, oh, I'm not getting out of the car. I was like, that's fine. And then she turned the car off and the lights faded. I was like, turn them back on. Turn the fucking lights back on. Because I kept feeling like I was being watched.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and that's a spooky thing. Like all the time, and like all of the animated movies, like what happens when the wolves or the hyenas showed up. You're in the dark, and the first thing you see is their eyes light up.
That's what I was doing. I was taking my flashlight and I was scanning the environment for those like dark eyes to be like, oh shit, okay. Damn. And like in my head, I was like mentally preparing and like, okay, if I grab my tripod like this, then the legs are gonna pop in and I can just duck into the car and we can take off.
Your wife is with you again still, right?
Yeah.
See, again, earlier today we went to breakfast. A bee landed on my wife's shoulder that she had no idea about. I go, hold on. She gets tense. I flick that bastard, and he does like the thing like he's gonna fly away, and I'm like, oh, I gotta worry about revenge or what? He like goes up, and then just falls to the ground. And I did it with a single flick.
Yeah.
And my wife was all over me.
Hey.
I'm the fucking hero of the world. I just slayed the dragon.
Yep.
So David.
Or the hornet.
David's on a side of a road, looking face to face with wolves and rattlesnakes. Think how his wife is thinking.
Oh, dude, I told. Not only now is he not Dwayne The Rock Johnson, now he's Dwayne The Rock Johnson from Jumanji.
Oh,
this guy David Webb just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah.
Next time I see her, I'm like, Miss Webb, you married up.
Yeah,
you married up, ma'am.
You're not wrong. I took a page out of your book, Cory, and I made some notes during my adventures of some random things.
Okay. And
I sent one to the group message, and then I quickly followed it up with a picture for context, and I just vaguely put Disneyland and sex trafficking. And I was like, let me clarify it. So I sent a picture. So, basically, I think we talked about this on the show. I feel like we did, but I don't remember if we did.
I think we did talk about the mystique of what's the ride?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you been to Disneyland?
Not in a long time.
Okay, so when you went,
okay,
do you know if you went on Pirates of the Caribbean?
It wasn't. I don't even think it was there. Like, I was a kid.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how long it's been there, but
so Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Pirates of the Caribbean, it's an old ride.
Okay.
And then after the first movie came out, they made some adjustments and they put Captain Jack Sparrow because he wasn't originally in it. They put him in like suit looks just like Johnny Depp's character.
Oh, okay.
And he's sporadically throughout the ride.
Right.
But there's one scene, and this is an old scene that was always in there. Was you come around, you go through like a pirate ship battle. So it's Barboza, and he's shooting at the fort, and the fort's shooting back, and you go through this battle, and then you come into this village, and in this village, there was it was an auction ran by the pirates that had already come in there, and they had basically kidnapped these women and were selling these women.
Oh, damn.
And I remember going on it as a kid and not really putting two and two together. Right. But then I remember going on it as an adult several times and thinking, how is this still in here? This doesn't seem right. And then, I remember the first time I'm like, okay, well, maybe they're trying to play off the whole, see how bad pirates are?
Right, yeah,
and then, the second time I went on it, I was like, yeah, but that's still...
but do we need this to show how bad pirates are? They're pirates.
Not long ago, there was a story how they were going to be changing that. So this is the first time I'd been on it since they changed it. And basically what they did is not a whole lot. They added... So, they added another... animatronic.
Okay.
That's a man.
Okay.
In line, and they gave everybody in line something to hold.
Okay.
So it was like an auction where you were coming to bring things to hold, right?
Okay.
Or to sell.
Right.
They kept the woman who was always up at the front being presented.
Right.
They kept her, but what they did is they stuffed 2 chickens underneath her arms. So she was now selling chickens, and the line that I always remembered, because I was just like, that's what makes this scene so much worse.
Yeah.
Is the original line is something along the lines of go ahead, honey, turn around and show them your tail. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So
wow.
So then the edited version now is go ahead, honey, show them your feathers. Or something along those lines.
Oh.
And so, same tone and everything. Same, really, kind of,
sleazy tone.
Sleazy, little dash of
it wasn't overdubbed?
Undertone.
Right.
Turn around, honey. Show them your feathers.
that bad voiceover.
It's a Siri. It's just like a Siri voice.
Yeah.
And then they added a woman pirate.
Okay.
Which I do not remember ever seeing a woman pirate in Pirates of the Caribbean. Not like the movie, but in the ride. So that's 100% new. And she says, forget the chickens, they want the rum or something.
I thought you were about to say the rump. I was like, rump. Well, then they really didn't help with very much because ladies can sex traffic too.
Anyway, and then she's holding up a bottle of rum or something like that.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, it's like Disney's getting progressive. That's good.
Or fixing their mistakes.
Or fixing their mistakes. Another one of my notes is the Big Lebowski as a maintenance worker. So
what?
Yeah.
The dude is a maintenance worker?
So
the dude does not abide.
I don't remember it being a Disney movie either.
The dude is here.
This is not Disney. This was at the first hotel that we stayed at in Dana Point. we had to have maintenance come into the room, and he didn't necessarily look like him, but I swear it was like hearing Jeff Bridges talk. And like he was like complaining about this part that they used called the Molly. And he was like I can't do a Jeff Bridges like impersonation, but it was like, oh, why'd they have to use the Molly? And his tone and the way he like the cadence of his voice, it sounded like the Big Lebowski was sitting there complaining about Molly in the bathroom of my hotel room.
You know, it's funny like how people speak and pick up from, like, maybe he just watches the shit out of the movie and he's like picked it up.
It could be his favorite movie.
Maybe he's a huge Jeff Bridges fan.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about like a cousin of mine who I was imitating him to my wife, and she was like, "Why does he do that?" It's like, "Oh, because his dad did it." And it's like we pick up these.
Yeah, I pick up these little quirks.
I was playing last night Overwatch with the dude, and we got like these stereotypical, like, now it's happening in gaming community, in Twitch streamers. This kid started spamming out his Twitch link over and over again in chat. He was on our team, so I could hear him. And I went to the link. Like, I'm like, all right, I'll bite. You know, what's going on over here? Literally, I'm the only one there. He's partying with his buddy, so he's like streaming to nobody. He's more just, I think, doing it because that's what they do. And his call outs and the things he was saying were just in this dialect that I'd never really put together that everyone does. And it was like, I got 5 kills, by the way.
Oh.
Tracking Diva, by the way. Like,
oh my gosh.
They're down? Like, it was this weird thing, like, talking just, it was, and you only hear it in the Overwatch, like, pro gaming community.
Yeah.
So it's super, like, ooper duper niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This niche dialect, and I was like thinking about this kid. I'm like, wow, this is like what he's aspiring to be. He watches XQC. He starts a stream.
Yeah.
You know, and he talks like this, just like all the other ones.
Monkey, monkey, monkey?
Yeah.
Monkey down?
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, man, now it's stuck in my head. I'm going to be thinking like that.
Yeah.
Okay, we have next news story.
Okay, by the way. Okay, cool. I got golds, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, all right. So we got some stuff. We got to give a little shout out here to Sergeant Squiggles, who's in our chat. Before we started this, we were streaming for like 3 hours. We were doing a role playing, and that kind of works with gaming, so we'll talk about it. Curtis, you got to watch. Have you ever gotten to participate in like a Dungeons and Dragons type of thing like that?
I have, yeah. Most of the time, like never online, which I'm sure is only slightly different, but I've gotten to play like in person. I was playing, I don't want to say consistently, but I was playing with a group of people that like were going to tournaments, and I joined them at a few of them. What was
your experience? What was like was it like the dragons and stuff? Was it actual Dungeons and Dragons? Was it space? Like what did you do?
It was actually different. I don't think it was the same anytime because I never got to like continue a campaign really that I can remember, but it was like I think only one time it's literally been just like the base Dungeons and Dragons, and every time else it was like some variation of it.
We streamed it. I hope it becomes kind of a regular thing. I enjoyed it. What did you think, David?
Oh, I loved it. There's a podcast that I listen to a lot, and actually it's ending. Called Campaign, and that's all that podcast is they play this same Star Wars RPG, and they started in this story, and they just do this long form story where they play for like hours, like a couple times a week or whatever, and then cut it up into episodes. And ever since I started listening to it, I've been wanting to play this game, and so when we played it today, it was so much fun. Awesome. Like I like it a lot better than D&D. It's a lot simpler, and especially for a podcast format or even a streaming format, it really lends itself more towards the storytelling and less to the mechanics.
It's hard because like it's unlike a video game, which is regulated, you know, and there's X, Y, and Z things you can do, and everybody's going to get the same experience. It really depends on only other people. So your experience is based 100% on who your DM is super important.
Oh yeah, important. Yeah.
Like if you get a bad DM, it's like playing on the Ouya or something, you know, like fuck, and you can't really just say video games suck because you played an Ouya.
Right.
But when you get an Xbox One, like Squiggles, you know, 4K Xbox One, like he gives you theater of the mind. He has the characters like when we started our campaign, there was like the classic Star Wars roll up with the yellow text, and we're reading like where we're at and what's happening, and then he does voices and like he paints these pictures. I thought that we were really spoiled to have such a good DM.
Yeah, it was in the plans that he had. I mean, like we went one direction, and he had a whole other part of the story planned with like an epic fight scene. If we went to like this building, but none of us went to that building.
Yeah,
we all went to this building and figured out how to not even like bypass the whole thing. So, and you wouldn't have known. We didn't know until after we ended, and he was like, "Yeah, I had a whole thing planned."
Yeah, he was a little disappointed because, like I said, when you get a good DM like Squiggles, he went through and he had a like renderings of what each building looked like from in the inside. Not only this whole city, he rendered the whole thing with no loading screens. Mind you, like he had
no loading screens.
He had like the tavern, and the tavern has white chairs, and the barkeeper's name is this. If you go to this place, so he rendered an entire like city on Tatooine for us, and we went to like 3 spots.
Yeah, and so, the left side of the map wasn't touched.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And then at the end, he was like, "Well, this is what this building would have looked like," and showed us. And there's like, he had all these things, and we just fucking. But, that's a good thing he can save it for. That's why, like, man, video games are so limited when it comes to what our minds can already do.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We just effectively played a video game without spending any money, just a shitload of time.
And, I mean, like, there's some restrictions, like, because, like, you have to have some sort of rail for a game. But you can do things in here that, like, you wouldn't, like, thinking of, like, when I play a video game, I want to play it the way I would do it if I was in that situation in real life. Right. And oftentimes you can't because the game is just like, it doesn't allow you to do that. But with this, then it's like, yeah, like if I was there, this is how I would do it. And you can for the most part do that. It's pretty cool. David like
he's making a film in his brain because like I'm trying to like be in the moment, but he's like, all right, so the camera is coming in from the door, right? And then I walk across and up, and then the camera cuts to my feet, and then for a minute, as I keep walking, and you can hear my jingling of my spurs, and then the camera cuts. So you keep talking about this camera. Like, where are the cameras? I don't know what these cameras are.
Dude, Webb, man.
Oh, man. I'm painting a visual story for the listeners. I'm taking them on a journey.
It was fun, though. It's really fun. I hope we do this again. If it's something you've been on the fence about, or you have that coworker who's invited you and you're like, I don't know. It's really one of the few ways like you can express. It's like another form of expression. If you don't play an instrument, or if you don't have any creative outlets, if you're not a photographer, but you just want some sort of outlet to be creative, I've never been judged. We were all just saying random shit that who know what was going to happen, but I don't feel like anybody walked out being like, oh, that person had no creative idea. It's like, no, we were just having fun. Like,
and
absolutely.
It's like, it helps you with your creativity too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of improv.
Yeah.
Like,
totally.
You just have to come up off the top of your head. Like, like I tried to like charm my way into a space. And like, I had to like figure out how I was going to say it. And they come up with like alternatives as that didn't work. Like it's pretty awesome.
Branching dialogue stories.
Yeah.
It's the super video game. It's what video games can, or RPGs, I could say, like Fallout can just. That's what they're trying to get closer to.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we do have some news stories, from what I understand.
Yeah, we do. Bringing this one back. All right.
Webb's telling the news.
Nice. I like that harmony.
Stuck it.
So let's talk about Mario Party, because Cory and I just got done playing it before the show. And that just came out just a few days ago. Cory, what do you think about playing it? I thought it was a lot of fun. I think it was really true to how the other Mario Parties have been.
Yeah, so I picked it up just yesterday, did a digital download, took 10 minutes to get in there, and then we were rolling in the game. And so I played with my wife, who had never played a Mario Party before.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was a little risky,
Yeah.
and she's not a huge gamer, so the controls are interesting. So one thing that sucks is that you can only use your Joy-Cons. If you have the Pro Controller, it's useless. You can't use it. You can't use both controllers together, so you have to kind of get used to using this little tiny controller,
right?
Which, to be honest though, only 1 or 2 turns in, you don't really see it as an obstacle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a game not about like intricate inputs. You know, you have just 4 buttons and a thumbstick, and it's got the gyro or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's intuitive and stuff. So, but my wife not having any experience, you just got to teach the basics. You know, whenever you're ready, push these ones.
Right.
If you want to push this, push this. So once you get over that kind of stuff, you get into the game. It's fun. It's Mario Party to a T.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you'd want for a game called Mario Party. The one thing I didn't account on is how much I had grown and changed in what I want in a game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if this game came out and I was 12 and I was with my cousins and, you know, you're playing, this would have been so amazing. This is what you're looking for.
Right.
This is the game you're going to be talking about building memories for your entire life.
Oh, yeah.
Like Mario Party was for me back on the 64. In this one, it's like, wow, like me and my wife are both not drunk, you know, and we're sitting here moving the controller like this to climb a pole, like kind of feeling a little weird and, you know, trying to teach her. And then there's the competitive aspect of stealing the coins, but there's 2 NPCs. So like for 2 people, it's fun every once in a while, but it's got to be like a double date thing. Like have your couple's friend come over and then get drunk before you play it, like,
or just a party game, Mario Party. Like when you just, because that's what I was curious about. I was gonna ask you guys, like, have you guys played? Because I'm like debating a real gaming situation. I'm debating between getting Mario Party, which I've played before and enjoyed, and 1-2 Switch, because I just want to have a party game when people come over.
Okay.
Have you guys played 1-2 Switch?
Yes.
Which one would you choose?
Mario Party.
Okay.
I think Mario Party too.
Yeah.
Okay.
As well.
Yeah, between the 2. And like, Mario Party, I had it on the Wii.
Okay.
And like, so like when my wife and I were dating, she'd come over and the 2 of us would play that, and it was the same experience. It was like, it was all right.
Right.
But it wasn't like, it's a group game.
Totally.
Like you need to have a group playing, and like enumerated or not, it's just better to have a group there.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to, because we're part of the NorCal Casters, like the Sacramento streaming meetup group, and they're planning their next one. And it was just like the first thing, we're all bringing Switches. Like, because we're going to have a big group of NorCal Casters, everyone with their, you know, Switches playing competitive Mario games, cracking a few beers.
Now, here's the question is, I have a Switch, but I don't have a Mario Party. If I bring mine, will it still, because you can connect them to make the board bigger.
Oh, I don't know. At the very least, your Joy-Cons will be needed.
Okay.
Because everyone's going to need a Joy-Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, because 3DS had download play where you can like be playing Mario Kart, and it's like, oh, I got the cartridge. Okay, cool. Go to the download play app.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now I don't need the cartridge, but we could play together.
We could play, but like if you went home, you couldn't keep playing it.
Right.
You only had to be on like the same network and with the same person.
Right.
So I'm wondering if Mario Party would do that.
Oh,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it's fun. Like they've added some cool things like that ally feature. Like, so there's I don't know how much the game has changed. So I may be retreading territory if you've played anything from like the Wii era, because I went from like Mario Party 1 to this one.
I remember this on the Wii. So if it came out like on the Wii U and maybe had this feature, but I don't remember this on the Wii.
So like you can add allies and they could give you a bonus boost to your dice. What's cool is like everyone's not rolling the same dice, so your character selection actually matters because it's not just a 1 to 6. Everybody has access to that, but then everybody has their own. So like Luigi had a 6-sided die that had 3 1s, and the rest were 6s.
Interesting.
So with him, you either know you're gonna get a 1 or a 6.
Right.
And then with Bowser, he had like a 10, a 9, and an 8, and then the other 3 were you lose coins.
Oh crap!
So you're going like for.
I like that.
And then Mario was like perfectly in between. He like didn't have a 1 or a 6, but everything was like a 4. Or, you know, there's incentive to choose different characters.
Right.
David, as he's going through the game, lands on every ally square, which is this new thing, where the game just gives him another player. So like they're like, okay, you're Yoshi. Here's Waluigi, and he's just gonna follow you around and give you awesome everythings.
Yeah. I had Waluigi. By the end of the game, I had Waluigi, Peach, and one of the where they
just the regular Goombas.
Yeah, I want to say Goomba, rolling around. So like every time I would roll, then I had 3 other die that they would each roll, or I could use one of their die to like give me bonuses and stuff like that. Yeah,
dude, that's rad.
So I was just like walking around with a posse everywhere I went,
racking it up.
That was cool. And then when you get them, you also get their die.
Yeah.
So like he could basically by the end of the game, David could be like, "Oh, I need a 1. All right, I'll pull out this dice. I'll use this item." And get but it was fun. What did you think, David? Because I kind of sprung it on you. It's not like you knew you were gonna. I was just like, "Hey, I got the game. I'll play it."
Yeah, no, I really liked it. I thought it would stay true to the Mario Party feel, but it added some nice like new additions, new modernizations that weren't going to be like, okay, I'm playing the same game as I played on the Wii or on the N64. Like there was different stuff to it. So I really liked it. I thought it was cool. I think the feature of the character selection making a difference,
okay,
is really nice, because then you there's some more strategy to the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then pairing those, die with like items and then or the different ally die that you get. It's a whole other level like to the game.
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good addition. I haven't played Mario Party since GameCube, so I don't remember some of the stuff on Wii. But no, that does sound like it's fun. I mean, and they know that they got to add like little elements here and there to kind of make it a little bit better, a little more interesting than the last one. So that's dope.
If I had to guess, I would say a lot of this stuff wasn't probably, at least not on the Wii version that I had, because I had just had the original Wii.
Right.
I think when they introduced it to the Wii, it was mainly like motion controls. That was the big thing that was added.
Right.
They probably didn't change a whole lot of how the game was played.
True.
Like, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I think the public perception of Mario parties have been that like the last ones have kind of sucked. Like, because in most of the reviews I've read, I went to Metacritic and I just started reading through because I don't know, I just wasn't sold yet.
Right.
And a lot of them were saying basically it's as good as the old ones. Like, don't be deterred if you've played anything recent, like from the Wii U or even the Wii. Like, stack this up to the other ones. Just the controls are better. Like, it's kind of evolution in the game.
Right.
The rest of the ones weren't canon. This one is canon.
Okay. I mean, that doesn't sound bad.
Really? They're not canon?
I mean, I'm just saying, it's in the fan perception.
Okay.
In the fan ire.
Okay.
We'll just pretend those ones didn't exist.
Gotcha. Okay.
All the Marios are awesome.
But they didn't put Bowsette in it, though? I mean, is it even worth buying?
DLC.
Yeah, DLC. Oh, man.
But isn't there also like a new Switch getting kicked around
already? Chris, do you know the details on that?
Yeah, so it got announced, well, not officially announced, but, of course, through the normal channels where things leak, like, different notes for accessories and different things, but it came out that they're planning a new Switch. Now, Nintendo officially said that they're not, but there's so much evidence that points to it. And one of the biggest things, obviously, is like new processor and stuff like that. But what I found kind of interesting about it is the reasoning that it's coming. And it's not a reason that we haven't seen before. If you've been following, especially recently with the DS line and stuff like that, it's basically the numbers are kind of starting to come back down, still consistent, but dropping from the hype and excitement that it was before. So they're thinking about putting out basically a refresh. It's going to have some new processors that are supposedly going to make some of the hacking that's been going on of like the online store and stuff that. Basically try to nip that in the bud a little bit.
Well, did we talk about last week, talking about the hacking? I don't know if the story made it through, but you were saying that if you have Skyrim, you can get full-blown PC mods installed onto your Switch version, including the naughty ones.
I believe it, because there's a fundamental hardware issue with the first gen Switches,
right?
Which is I know that's what me and you have, but I don't know if they fixed it in like since you got a Switch.
Okay.
If the later shipments it was fixed, but it made it so you can hack the Switch at a base level and you can install like Android or something on it.
Oh.
And so and there's nothing that Nintendo could do. And so I totally believe it that you could throw in Skyrim PC mods and there's nothing that they could do because there's a backdoor, which I bet you is another reason why they're doing a hardware update. Like
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm wondering. I mean, I sent mine in for RMA. And they sent me mine back, but I wonder if they're doing something to fix them.
They pop in a different processor or something.
But that's like a huge oversight from Nintendo because, to my knowledge, like it's hard to get anything thing that could ever be considered adult material on those things.
Yeah.
Right. So if you can get mods that are letting you see nudity, like that's got to be like a Nintendo first.
Oh
yeah, for them to nip that in the bud. Yeah,
Nintendo first.
Yeah, you load up your Nintendo and I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, like, I can see how, you know, like, because they were selling like hotcakes, like they were selling really good.
Yeah.
So they were probably just like, you know what, it might be too much, or it might stress out our processor makers too much right now to have them try to do this new one while we're asking them to give us this volume at the time.
Yeah.
So they might have just said, you know what, our company stays afloat based off of money, not if people don't like a few mods that. I mean, because if you think about it, like how large do you think the percentage of people actually hacking it really was?
It was pretty. I'd say it's fairly low overall,
right?
But that was only because of like the difficulty it would take,
right?
So I think if it was easier, more people would do it, and it was fairly risky because it was pretty easy to brick it if you didn't like do it correctly.
Absolutely. But it's there. So you know, that reason obviously makes sense. But again, you know, we've seen this before with the DS and the DSi and then the eventually the 3DS and then the 3DS XL and the new 3DS. It's like, it's nothing new.
We just have to get used to the new business model of technology that you and I had talked about, I think off air when we were talking about, you know, just phones in general.
Yep.
How there's not too much more that could be upgraded besides little tiny teensy things or, you know, conveniences. Like me and you were around when we went from Razr smartphones to
and sidekicks,
the touch screen, you know, the modern phone. So we saw like a giant leap in technological advancement.
Right.
When's the next thing like that going to hit gaming or cell phones, or can it? Like, we can't even imagine it right now. No one can. Or they would have done it by now.
And it's funny because, I mean, even VR, like, you know, as, you know, VR is in its best form right now, and it kind of took a break and came back. But, I mean, really, like, we've been trying to work on, I mean, y'all remember the Lawnmower Man movie, right? Like, back in the 90s, like, you know, like, we've been trying to implement even what was that terrible Game Boy that failed? The red one? Virtual Boy. The Virtual Boy. Like Nintendo's old thing where it was like the red thing and you had to like stick your face in and you could see around. Like, VR has been around. It's just a matter of making it better. But we're at a technical plateau right now. So, but as long as they keep coming up with good content and good games, the processors are already kicking butt. The fact that, you know, really when you take the Joy-Cons off of our Switch, it's about the size of our smartphones.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
And that's one thing that they're talking about making a change to is the screens, actually.
Oh, right. Higher resolution
screens, more common than what you'd see in like a modern smartphone.
I think the pitfall of all this is that we're trained, or many people are trained to always get the newest and want the latest and greatest. Definitely. And they feel like they're exploiting that.
Totally.
So, like, the thing, I typically just get mad when I hear these stories, but I think the other lesson, the life lesson, so to speak, is just like, you don't always have to have the newest and greatest.
No.
Like, I'm perfectly fine with my Gen 1 Switch, and I'm not going to give in to that little voice in the back of your head or your friends at work who might want to say like why theirs is going to be better than yours or whatever. So
totally. But you know what? Something that I think people always forget. Pro tip. Like, if the new joint comes out, like, this is why you take care of your joint, right? When the new one comes out, you don't got to come all the way out of pocket. Sell the one that you got.
And pay the difference.
Yeah.
So now you're paying the price of a game maybe and a little bit more for the next gen instead of coming out your pocket $300 again.
True.
Yeah.
That's well, you know, you're talking about those people who want to have the newest and greatest. That's how I am with phones.
Mm-hmm.
So much so that like I pay like an extra like $10 a month to my phone carrier to where I have unlimited upgrades.
Oh wow!
Like,
oh dang, that's crazy.
It's just like I could do it once every 30 days.
Okay, that's dope. So once a month you can swap your phone out.
So once a month. Yeah. So, and it used to be they just changed it, and I'm like pissed. It used to be like nothing down, no down payment, nothing. I just go walk in and say I don't want my iPhone anymore. Give me the newest Galaxy.
Yeah.
So like throughout the year, when the new Galaxy, like the S8 came out, I'd get the S8, and then the new iPhone come out, I'd get the iPhone, and then the new Note come out, I'd get the Note, and then I'd like rotate through because I could. It didn't cost me anything.
Right,
I think
exactly.
With my upbringing, like my dad would always instill like you own your stuff. So I do have that urge where I'm always want to have the newest one. If I had my way and I had a bunch of money, I would totally do that.
Just buy outright.
I would always just buy the new thing.
Yeah.
But the way I think now, it's like I just want to pay my phone off.
Yeah.
I have this one that it was the best at its time.
Right.
And now I just can't fucking drop this thing. Or, hopefully it doesn't brick. So then when I own it, then I get to save $30 on my thing, I'd rather go that route. So, but like Xbox, we talked about it a few months ago, was going to experiment with the idea of a payment plan for the Xbox.
Right.
Leasing it. You don't even own it.
Right.
But then when the next one comes out, they'll just send it to you.
Yeah.
True.
But they're always getting that money.
Oh, yeah.
So they're banking on you keeping the service longer.
Totally.
And it's crazy, like branching a little bit outside of games. I just saw like real briefly a Twitter ad. AAA is trying to do this with cars. You have a car subscription, and it's like all one payment. So you have insurance, you have your car payment, and I'm guessing registration is probably going to be thrown in there too. And you have this car subscription.
Yeah, it's their car.
It's their
just
car.
Like renting a car long term. They're just changing the back end.
Yeah.
Right. It's like leasing, but it basically never ends.
That's what my phone is. My phone's leasing.
Yeah, we're leasing it.
And we're leasing it, and I would just I'd have it like. The phone I have now is the longest phone I've had, and it's only because both times I've tried to go and do the switch.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to be $80 or it's going to be $100. I'm like, see, now I have to think about if I want to spend the real money dollars to get the newest and greatest.
True.
Yeah. I don't know. That's an interesting thing. I think where everything's going.
Subscription.
TV's already headed that direction with you get Twitch Prime, and then you could subscribe to other channels with not Twitch Prime, Amazon Prime.
Right.
Yeah.
I have Amazon Prime, and then I don't have cable, so for HBO I pay an extra $15 a month, and I just subscribe to
that
HBO.
one.
I think my mom was just talking about it, like her cable bill. They did that thing to her where the first year it's going to be like $30.
Yeah.
And then you get a surprise bill at the end of the year that's for the beginning of the next year that's like $500, and oh shit, I'm in a contract or whatever. So she just got hit with like a $200 thing because her deal ran out, and she called back and couldn't get it below that price. Dang. So it's time to move on. She's finally realizing that. But then Dish is starting to sell like a subscription service.
Oh yeah,
where it's like Dish streaming or something.
DirecTV has DirecTV Now, where it's $30 a month, I think. $30 a month, and then you don't get like a unit or anything. It's all an app.
It's just an app.
And then you still get full functionality like you normally would.
Yeah.
It's just an app. And then there's no contract. So if you want to stop, then you just stop. You just cancel it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I was looking, I went and I bought something on Amazon today, and in the area where it's usually like, sign up for the Amazon card and get this, instead it was like, subscribe and this is your price. Yeah. I'm like, bruh, so you mean to tell me if I just give y'all a certain amount of money every month, I can just get stuff? Here's your little budget. Oh, you're it's just crazy. It's
when I bought beard wash, beard shampoo on Amazon, and and I'm sure you've seen this, Cory. You could subscribe, and then once a month they send you a new bottle. And it's cheaper than just do the one-time thing.
Yeah, I was buying daily vitamins, and that thing popped up, and it's like, well, it gives you this many, so it's this time's supply. So by the time you run out, your next one will already be there, and you don't even have to think about it.
Yeah,
it's kind of like the next level. They already have a product. Like they always have that Tide button.
Oh yeah.
They'll send you,
right.
And you just keep a button in your laundry room, and when you're out of
dash button
Tide,
you just hit the
tap the button, and then you'll have some in a few hours.
And when it first came out, it was limited things, but now you can do a custom one. So any item you get from Amazon, you can do a custom dash button, and you just push the button.
Take straight from your account and everything. And
more trail mix is on its way.
God.
Someone with kids, their kid finds it. Just
that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Cheetos.
We're gonna be swimming in Cheetos. My God.
Oh man,
this is the world we live in, y'all.
It's crazy.
I'm excited. This is gonna. I'm so glad we're around now. Imagine the shit we're gonna see, dude.
It's gonna be pretty nice.
I think the stuff what we're gonna see is gonna be, I think, rivaling what our grandparents' generation saw. You think about they saw
totally
horse and buggy to rocket ship to the moon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Nuts. Yeah.
I think we're going to see something similar in that drastic change.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm still just tripping off the fact that I don't have to rewind that no more. And wait. Like I could just hit the back button and be like, start at the chapter again. Like, this is crazy.
Like when you were on vacation, normally I bring my Chromecast and I just plug my Chromecast in the TV and I just have Hulu or Netflix or whatever like that, and I forgot it this time.
Yeah.
So we just used regular hotel cable. And I'm sitting there and I was watching Doctor Who.
Yeah.
And then the commercial happened. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
No. I didn't agree to this.
I didn't click yes, I want the commercial. What is happening?
It's so crazy.
Oh, man. Moving on to Red Dead Redemption 2 news.
Shit.
Yes. So there was an announcement earlier about we are getting console exclusives to the PS4.
Okay.
Luckily, they're just timed exclusives, so we don't really have to worry about never getting them. And from what I've read, they're, with the exception of one really good one, it's not a big loss. So there's a total number of 4 items are going to be timed exclusive to PS4. And it was kind of speculation whether they're going to be online only or in game.
Okay.
And it looks like, at least for some of them, it's going to be both. Definitely it's going to be the outlaw outfit, the Grizzlies outlaw outfit. It consists of a long wool coat with a leather vest. It's going to be available in the game story mode on launch day and then on Red Dead Online when that's announced or when that's released later on. The other items are a red chestnut Arabian horse, the alligator skin ranch cutter saddle, and a high roller double action revolver. Those won't be available until the online portion of the game goes live. Now, are these items really worth it? So the horse is going to be faster than any of the wild horses that you're going to find in the world. How much faster, I don't know. The saddle is basically just an enhanced version of what you start with, so it's just purely cosmetic. Okay. Now the gun is the fastest firing revolver in game.
Oh, see, that's what I was worried about. And this doesn't matter in the single player whatsoever, but if this does extend to the online, giving so many people just the most OD gun right off the bat is terrible. I remember in Destiny, there's the same thing with PlayStation exclusives and people getting things kind of ahead of time or whatever. And it was acceptable when the gun wasn't the most powerful gun.
Right.
It could be cool and have a little trick to it. But other than that, it's if you're giving everybody the fucking most powerful gun, then anybody who didn't is automatically just at a huge disadvantage.
Exactly. So all of these items are going to be exclusive to PS4 for the first 30 days, and then after that, they'll be available on Xbox One.
Fuck.
The only thing that's not clear, or one of the only things that's not clear, is whether or not the Grizzlies Law outfit is going to be subject to that same exclusivity window. You know what I mean? So, and for the Xbox, PC4 players get it day one, or PS4 players get it day one, but Xbox players, they may not get it for the first 30 days. And then by then, you're playing the game, you probably have a better outfit that you like.
By that time,
by that time anyway.
I heard I was even more hyped for this damn game. It's the interaction between you and pretty much all the other NPCs in the game. In GTA, when you're going around, you could pretty much just wave at people or shove them, or that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
In this, most of the other NPCs are going to have things that they do and wants and desires and personality traits and even situations they're in.
Yeah.
So what I had read, the guy was just kind of going down the street and he saw a dude trying to put on a horseshoe, and he just said hey to the guy. He was I don't want to get in any trouble. I just want to move forward, and just be gentle. And he says hello to the guy. The guy looks up and says, oh, hey, startles the horse, and it kicks him in the fucking head.
Oh,
and he dies. So trying to be the nice guy ended up getting this dude killed.
Damn.
In the situation.
Holy crap.
It's so crazy.
This game is crazy.
I think even the smallest details like that are going to just be things you can do for hours and hours on end.
Yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, I've said it before. This is like the different things that you can do in game, the little tweaks and enhancements that they've made and paid so much attention to, is the reason why I'm gonna get the game. Like, I mean, I don't have anything against the Red Dead series. I just haven't really played them, so I don't have I'm not invested in the story as much.
Right.
I just think it's an incredibly advanced and like detail-oriented game.
It's worth the money. It's an art piece.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's basically what you're buying.
So crazy.
Keeping on the gaming news, let's talk about Telltale again. Back in the news with the Walking Dead series. Turns out Skybound is going to take it back and finish it. For
Good old Skybound. Good guy Skybound.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of funny. Like, hey, I'm Robert Kirkman. I create Skybound. I also created Walking Dead. Telltale, do my game. Oh, you're going out of business. Give me my game back.
Yeah. I'll take that.
I'll just finish it. And that's part of, I didn't know that part about Skybound. I know, through Image Comics and just, being a fan of Image Comics that Robert Kirkman had his imprint. And I remember going to the ID 10T Fest, the Chris Hardwick thing, and going and talking to the people over there, but never, and there was literally like different gaming, like vendors and setups and stuff. Not once did they mention that they set up a part to develop IP for games in there.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it didn't even occur to me. So how convenient for Robert Kirkman. It's just like, okay, cool. You built this thing up for me. Now all I get to do is just take it back over and make my brand even stronger in the development department.
Yeah, I think what we can glean from it too is that Telltale, when The Walking Dead was their first big one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So they struck a deal and made a lucrative deal to get this IP that'll automatically kind of skyrocket their development and this system of storytelling in game. So if they didn't have Walking Dead as an IP and they just made something else. That's one thing you got to respect about Life is Strange, because it did that successfully, but kind of off the back of what Telltale is already doing.
Right.
So I don't find it gives you maybe a glimpse into how that licensing goes. Like,
True.
Telltale probably didn't have too much control. If they could just at any point just say, hey, I'm taking our game back, by the way, I'm going to have these other guys do it.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what other IP. There's a bunch of other IPs that probably had things in the works. They talked about The Wolf Among Us.
Yep.
There was the Game of Thrones.
Yeah. The Batman one, they had that one too.
Batman, yeah.
It kind of just shows how Skybound cares, maybe. Like, they might be the only one that cared about their fan base enough to be like, okay, our fans deserve this ending.
Yeah.
We're not just going to let the company go out of business and take it as the loss. Like, we're telling a good story. We're halfway through. Fuck it. Let's finish this thing. And I respect the hell out of that.
I'm curious if they're going to finish it or if they're going to they'll finish this and then they'll start a new one. Like,
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like, hey, since they kind of built it up to this point, if we just take it back and if we just like mildly knock it out of the park, then we can start getting offers and people come in and like, oh, we didn't know that you guys would do that well with it. Like, let us develop that. Now Robert Kirkman is even richer than he already is.
Yeah.
What comic book was The Wolf Among Us based on? Fairy Tale?
It was Fables, I think.
Fables.
Oh, Fables,
yeah.
And
Fables,
who did that?
I do not remember who did Fables. Fact check.
I'm looking it up, but is it not the same one? Oh, it looks like it's Vertigo.
Oh, Vertigo. Yeah.
That's different.
Different imprint. Vertigo is currently under DC. DC bought Vertigo out, and and Skybound is under Image.
And so I think, damn it, I was hoping the same Skybound had something to do with Fables, because then we're like, okay, so if they're going to finish their series, they could still bring to life. So we're going to see whether or not Vertigo, DC even cared about this franchise. They clearly didn't, because they didn't push for the sequel as fast as they should have.
Yeah, I agree. And the way that Vertigo's going right now, like, their Fables is definitely not something that's a priority, but at the same time, like, that's the thing, comic community is so small. Like, they all know Robert Kirkman knows them. If they want to take their stuff and just be like, hey, we're not pushing this right now, but if we give you a little bit, if we give you the license and you can make us some money off of it, thank you. So it's just opportunity. Again, it's just Robert Kirkman. That's been his whole thing since he's been in. I don't think he's the greatest comic book writer. I don't think he has the greatest stories, but he just comes at the right time with the right thing. And this could be another one of those things for him.
Yeah.
And maybe this other company that takes the reins, whether it's his or another group like Telltale, that company could take the torch, because
totally.
It seems like we talked about it weeks ago. A lot of the stuff with Telltale was just terrible management. All the nightmare stories that people had working for them.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll give it to someone who can actually be successful with it and take the reins and bring us back The Wolf Among Us. And
hey, when you treat people better, they perform for you better. So
hey,
I'm just saying.
Dang, always dropping some knowledge. Man, this one flew by, everybody. What the fuck?
Wow, that was
I
quick.
think that's what happens when we stay on track.
Do you think Emma would be proud of us?
I think she'd be super proud of us.
I think Emma's proud of us right now. She's somewhere on the con floor right now.
Yeah.
In her little Emma Skies sleeping bag. Just be like, I'm so proud of those boys over in Sacramento right now.
I'd like to think, she has us plugged in just to her earbuds as she's.
Yeah, we're like the ASMR.
Yeah.
We're the soundtrack for Emma Skies. Just getting some rest.
I think we made her proud, everybody.
I think so too.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with the show. Like I said, if you and you know what, this has been working, David. This is a sign that the people actually listen to us, because I've been asking for weeks for more ratings on iTunes.
Yeah.
We've shot up by like 15 brand new 5-star ratings. We're like up to we're a 4.5.5, I think. Which is pretty damn good. So thank you for those who have already gone to iTunes and Stitcher and Spotify and given us a rating or sub. But if you haven't and you want to, and you were inspired by how amazing other people have been, it really helps the show get picked up more. The more ratings you have, the higher you get queued up in these all these platforms. And the first question I always ask a new viewer is like, hey, how'd you find out about us? And it's always like, I was just going a couple pages back in the iTunes store. People are looking for new content, and so doing that really helps us stay relevant. Besides that, if you already listen to the show, come check us out on twitch.tv/videogame_bang, where you can interact with us live during the show, just like Blood Ocean did, Ceramic Dragon, Ghetto Nerd Society, Sergeant Squiggles, our DM, was popping off in there. So Osmond1, these guys, they hang out with us. And then now we're going to do more show just in hanging out with you guys, talking about whatever you guys have on your filthy minds. David Webb, what's going on, man? What are you doing the next week? You back to the stream grind?
Back to the stream grind. I don't have a schedule set just yet because I have a couple things going on throughout the week. But definitely by Friday, I will be for sure streaming, but possibly Monday and Tuesday. Just follow me on @RealDavidWebb on Twitter, and you'll see the schedule.
All right, Curtis. Looks like you're back, dude. What did I see on Twitter? What was popping off over there?
I might be out of retirement for a limited time, but I'll say this: if you don't see me Monday night, you're definitely gonna see me Wednesday morning. I got some more news about these Kings. We're in preseason right now, and I'm loving nothing. Oh, I'm loving one thing. We're running fast, and I'm liking that we got some young guys out there playing. So if you guys want to know more about the exciting parts of the Kings season, come check me out at twitch.tv/skipandtosh.
And if you want to follow Emma and Ivy's adventures, New York Comic Con, you can go find them both respectively on their Twitter handles @IvyDoomKitty and @EmmaSkies, all one word. And same with their Instagrams, Instagram.com or I think they use @ too, IvyDoomKitty and Emma Skies. And be nice, say hi, let them know that you're thinking about them in the least weird way possible.
Yes.
But that's it. That's our show. So for the real David Webb, Curtis Fisher, my name is Cory, saying you've just been banged.